Alright, hello and welcome to Monster Crawl. The game just came out today. I did cover the demo in the past, but the game is out and I bought it. It's like $8 with the sale. I think the 20% off sale goes until the 20th of May, so you got a decent amount of time to kind of pick it up if you want. If you've played the prologue that had the warrior mode, you've pretty much seen the video I'm going to make, minus like a bunch of ranting that I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to say that I was going to wait. I was going to wait until I'd been playing it a bit longer, because I really wanted to play as a wizard. I wanted to be able to say the wizard needs food badly, it's a Gauntlet reference, and just say that I'd done it. But after 2.5 hours of playing, I still haven't unlocked the wizard because this game has an unlock system that I absolutely despise. And I'm gonna go into that. So, to unlock characters, not only do you have to spend cash to, gold, not only do you have to spend gold to actually unlock them, you also have to reach a rank with one of the characters. In the case of the wizard, I have to get the ranger up to level 12. That isn't impossible, it isn't difficult, it doesn't even take that long. The problem is, I don't like the ranger. The ranger is not entertaining to play at all with the way they attack. I prefer the warrior, but I also just really want to play the wizard. It's been 2.5 hours, and I still can't play as the wizard. Now, if I had perhaps not bought some of the different upgrades that I bought, I'd have the wizard. So, like the choices were mine. I made what I thought were good choices, but apparently they were bad choices. Like, I bought the piggy bank because receiving interest on my gold when entering the exit was going to be something I felt was going to be a good experience. But I think you have to actually exit the dungeon to get that money. Because I'm not getting it for just finishing regular exits. Therefore, that was kind of a bad purchase that I've upgraded twice. But I'm not going to buy any of the other things, but there's a bunch of different relics you can get. And the relics range from pretty cool to, just something that potentially is going to be useful. You can also find these as you play, so it's not like you have to spend your money on them here. This just allows you to start with them, which I think is a cool aspect. Overall, like, in general, the idea of the way the upgrades work, I like this. I like coming in here, spending the gold that I've earned on upgrading different things so that I have a better time of when I play, or theoretically that I will. But, again, I do not like this, the method in which this is going to take for me to upgrade. But hey, I only need 324 gold. So I'm going to try to do that in this. I'm using the piggy bank, which, is whatever. And these are all relatively the same, except for it's going to get me closer to the actual boss. So, I mean, overall, when it comes to the level design that I've seen so far, it's your traditional, kind of dungeon fare. And it's fine. Like, it's not bad, it's not anything overly exciting, it's not complex. It just gets the job done. And, I will say that despite the frustration of, not being a wizard yet, I have been playing for 2.5 hours non-stop. So the game definitely has the ability to pull you in and have you enjoy the experience overall. So I'm pretty happy with that. And when I first played the demo, I mean, I really, really loved the game because I thought it was just a load of fun. I still think it's quite fun. Again, I just have no interest in playing as the ranger. And being forced to play as the ranger in order to unlock the wizard doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth. It's like the Panda Express I ate for lunch. It's just not quite, it seemed like a cool idea at first, but as time has gone by, I kind of regret eating that for lunch. No, but I mean, I don't regret picking up the game, I don't regret playing the game or anything like that. I just regret my purchases because, I wanted to make upgrades for my characters to make gameplay a little bit easier for myself. Potentially earn more cash, do whatever I was gonna do that was going to kind of improve things for myself. Only to find out that it just wasn't going to work out. So there are a lot of little kind of side missions, I guess you could call them. I don't really know what you want to call them, but there's all these little things you can do on the side that they're not mandatory. They can be completely skipped, but they are probably the best way for you. Challenges, that's what they're called. But they're probably the best way for you to kind of get extra gold, to get some additional kind of skills at a quicker rate, because you always get some kind of reward. So it's very worth exploring and not just trying to make a beeline for killing all of the monster generators and everything. So, I mean, the game does a good job of giving you quite a bit of variety, which is something that I think the game has to be kind of commended for. Okay, so now the piggy bank is working. It just wasn't working on my warrior for whatever reason, or I just missed it. I could have missed it, or the interest is so little that it's just not worth it. It looks like it's about 5%, so I mean 10%. That's so yeah. I would have had the I'd have had enough money for the wizard at this point if it had actually given me what I earned interest-wise. I guess they bank at the Bank of America. I don't know. I've never banked with the Bank of America, so I couldn't tell you if they're really as bad as I just made them out to appear or not. But I think I only needed, what, 300, wasn't? Not like too bad. Yeah, so I think the special attacks for the archer just aren't very good, which is kind of why I'm not really a big fan of them. I mean, with the right upgrades, and I have like a very large amount of, or very limited amount of cooldown, like the cooldown is basically almost everything's pretty quick. It's not too bad. Like, I would say that I've been, okay with the Ranger, but just overall, yeah. I can't wait to never play as them again. And I don't think that's really a sentiment that you really want to run into in a game. Especially with, despite the fact that there are the unique characters, the whole idea that you have to play as a character in order to unlock a character you want to play. I know it's not, like, abnormal or unusual even. It's something that I think has been in so many games. It's almost to be expected in some ways when it comes to unlocking characters. I mean, it's... Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's a very, very normal circumstance that is in pretty much any game that you're going to run into, ever that runs into the situation of unlocking characters, but it doesn't matter. Like, my point still stands. I'm not a fan of it. But I think I've talked about that long enough. I would like to switch over to something else, and that is the stuff I actually like. That's, I think, why you're here. Anyway, so graphically, the game, I think it's cute. Like, it doesn't, it's got its own kind of look going on, but it definitely still manages to have a bit of a kind of a Gauntlet influence, I would say. I mean, it definitely reminds me of Gauntlet. I cannot look at this game and not see Gauntlet. And, I mean that as a good thing. Like, I love Gauntlet. It's a fantastic, enjoyable experience. But, I do want to say the game stands out on its own. The animations for the enemies, it might be relatively simplistic, but, it works really well for what we're seeing. I mean, there's also a pretty decent variety. of enemies that I've run into thus far. Obviously, I still haven't finished, the first set of dungeons. I haven't even made it to the first boss yet. And normally, if because I'm doing this more as like almost a review of sorts, more than a let's play. Although it is really first and foremost a let's play, with a bit of review, I guess. Anyway, not the point. Normally I would have tried to just push through, get the wizard, and then see where things go from there. But then I was like, well, what if I don't like the wizard? Then I'll be heartbroken, and then I don't know what I will do. So I figured I would just kind of play through with this character, even though I don't like them, because I have to. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it anymore, but can't be helped. It's just right up there in my brain. It's like being forced to listen to a Madonna song before you get to listen to Taylor Swift, at a concert. Nobody's there to watch Taylor Swift. I mean, Madonna, whatever. I don't know my musical artists. I just don't understand exactly why Taylor Swift is as popular as she is. I think she's an okay musician. Like, she sings some catchy songs, but I couldn't tell you any of the ones that she has sung. I always get her confused with Katy Perry. But I really couldn't tell you any Katy Perry song either. The lesson to be learned here is that maybe you should not take my thoughts as seriously as other locations. May not be the best idea to do. Occasionally, even though, all the enemies disappeared this time, sometimes they don't all disappear. So just kind of pay attention to that so you don't get up and, like, make a sandwich or something just to find yourself dead when you come back. Although the benefit of dying during these areas, the challenges, is you're not dead for real. You just lose the challenge. You'll come back to life with some health. It is a reduced amount of health, but it's pretty gnarly. Anyway, so overall, like, when it comes to combat in the game, aside from this particular character, and even when it comes to this character, like, I probably shouldn't be as harsh as I have been. I think, that with there being multiple different types of characters, the game is going to give you, the player, many different options to play in the way you want, which I think is amazing. And I would assume that once you start really unlocking more of the characters, there's going to be something for everybody. There's going to be a character that everybody likes to play. Enemies drop the gold, they drop food, sometimes bombs, all kind of little stuff. I mean, so there's a lot of stuff going on. You definitely get that, like, little dopamine kick of, like, oh, something good has happened. I mean, your character almost certainly won't live long after, finishing their little adventures here, on account of the very likelihood that they're contracting rabies. And I'm not going to go into the whole rabies tangent. I would like to, but I don't want to. Doesn't make sense. I would like to, but I just don't think that this is the right day for it. Nobody talks about rabies on a Monday. Oh, but what if it's Tuesday? It doesn't matter. Rabies is bad. If you ever get bit by a wild animal, especially considering a bat, or scratch, doesn't matter. Go to a hospital, tell them what happened, and get your rabies vaccination. Because if you get rabies, you will die, and it will be awful. So, here's your public service safety thing. Your PSA. What does that even stand for? It is like public service something, right? Oh, public service announcement. That's what it is. I do if I like thought about it long enough and said other words in my brain, it would kind of come together. Alright, I think I actually have enough to unlock the wizard now, because I think it was only 327 or whatever, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't really want to take the chance of being wrong, so I will just kind of push forward, collecting as much gold as possible to get to the end. Then I'll get the wizard, and we'll see what happens with the wizard. I could play as the warrior, just to kind of show it off, but I don't really feel like that's necessary. I imagine if you've picked this game up, or if you're going to, then you most likely, played the demo or played the prelude, prologue, whatever it is, and you've experienced the warrior already. So, no point to do that. I don't think I've said anything about the music. I like the musical tunes. They're another collection of things that feel unique, but still seem to have that kind of Gauntlet-esque feeling. And I'm not really sure exactly what the tune is that I'm thinking of from Gauntlet that this reminds me of, but I definitely feel as though there is one. You know what? I only have 2 levels to try to finish this area. It would be nice to do it, but honestly, I still just really want to play as the wizard. Because the thing is, if I don't like the wizard, I can know that I'm never really going to progress in the game. It would have been really unfortunate if I had kind of screwed up and didn't have enough. Alright. Playing as the wizard. And this is the wizard. Oh, man. I mean, he seems to do a pretty decent amount of damage, but it just feels like the mage. Or not the mage, it just feels like the archer, but instead of arrows, I'm shooting purple balls at things. Magic missile, if you will. What an unfortunate turn of events. Well, anyway, but you've really got the gist of the game at this point. We're gonna abandon. And I'm gonna play as the wizard for just a moment so that at least I can show off the wizard. See, I mean, I really like the warrior, man. The warrior is a very good all-around character. Their first, their very first special attack they get is quite good. I know that it is you have to get close to the enemies to kill them for the most part. But considering the vast majority of combat seems to kind of end up in that way no matter what, it just feels so much better than the other 2 characters that I showed off earlier. So, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely going to be one of those experiences that makes it a little bit rough, because it's really hard for me to justify spending time playing as a character long enough to level it up to whatever requirement. I think it's probably still 12 for the wizard, for the Blade Master unlock. But it's really hard to justify playing, that long to unlock the character if I don't enjoy playing as wizard. And based on my experience with the wizard, I think it's going to be a lot similar to what I was doing with the other character. And I don't. I would much rather just play as the warrior the whole time, and that just means there's a good chance I'm not going to unlock the other characters. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. I think I've kind of shown off a couple of the characters. Again, like I said, I've been playing 2.5 hours, so I feel pretty justified in saying, that I actually have some legit opinions of the game. And overall, I do like it. I think it's a very positive experience. It's fun. You just have to find the right character that kind of resonates with you. And for me, it just happens to be the warrior. I was hoping it was going to be the wizard, but the wizard is just the archer. It's slightly different, and yeah, I mean, this is so much cooler to just kind of do what he just did than anything that the wizard starts off with, or the archer. So, again, it's really going to depend on what you like to do and how you like to play the different characters. My only major complaint about the game is simply the unlock system for the characters. I feel as though what would have made a better system is if instead of, what could have been done is, in order to play as, I don't know, we have like a warrior, the character, hits level 13 or whatever, and he's a master warrior or whatever. Well, why not just make it to where, like, why not? Yeah, it's not on here. So, like, it says right here, Master Warrior. It doesn't actually mean anything. It's just an achievement. Why? What it would have been cool is if we had, once you reach level 10 with the warrior, you maybe get a slightly better warrior that you have to unlock. Just add some cash to that. Like, you have to unlock your extra character or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like maybe keeping the individual characters, specifically gold for unlocks as opposed to everything else, would have made a little bit more sense. Because at first I thought maybe it's like, okay, well, the ranger, is going to teach me how to play the wizard. I mean, well, that seems kind of silly looking at it. And then the wizard, I can't imagine teaching me how to play Blade Master and the Grenadier. So, I mean, I don't know, it's not super cool for that unlock system. Because at that point, by the time I got to where I was really able to unlock any of these characters, I've probably already chosen a character I really like, and that's what I'm going to play at, so I'm never going to really experience what these other ones are. But yeah, anyway, other than that, the upgrade system, I think, is, like I said, it's pretty solid. It has a really good stuff going on, and yeah, overall, the game is very fun and entertaining. I think it is definitely going to be something people will enjoy, especially if they liked, Gauntlet, or really kind of any action RPGs. I think would probably still be pretty dang good. So there's a pretty early look, I suppose, from today's release of Monster Crawl. And with that, I'm going to move on and do some other stuff. And the link is in the description. I encourage you to check the game out. It might be something you want to play. If it is, you can buy it between now and whenever the launch sale ends for 20% off, or you can just wishlist it and pick it up another time. Whatever works for you. And thanks for watching, and have fun.